Hello yogis, yoginis, welcome back. This is the second episode on yoga for injuries, particularly injuries on our leg. And today's class is going to be focusing on arms and core. And why is that? Well, from my personal experience after having a cast for a few weeks, I started to feel some tension on my hands, on my wrist and on my shoulders mainly. But also I realized that if you don't have a strong core, it can be also quite challenging when you're moving with the crutches all over the place. So this class is going to be focusing first on warm-up exercises for our wrists and our shoulders. Then we will work on some strengthening exercises both in the shoulder region, triceps, arm region, as well as in the core area. Okay, then we will end up with a gentle relaxation to calm down and absorb all the benefits from the class. So I hope you enjoy the class and let's get started. We're going to start in a tabletop position, making sure the hands are parallel to the shoulders, knees are parallel to the hips. We're going to start doing a little bit of warm-up on our wrists. So we're going to take a deep inhale. On the exhale, shifting the weight forward, maintaining the arms straight. Slowly inhale, pressing with the fingertips to come back to the center. Exhale, go forward. Inhale, come back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Last two, exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Once last, exhale, forward. And inhale, back. We're going to place now the hands facing sideways. And remember, as close as you have one hand to the other, more intense the stretch will be. As farther apart, less intense. We're going to start moving clockwise first, inhaling when going forward, exhaling when going back. Moving the hips. Remember, if you have any tension on your leg, on your foot, the one that's on the cast, you can place a pillow underneath so it's a little bit elevated, or you can cross the legs so you can place the leg that has the cast on top of the other one. Okay? Switching directions. Keep inhaling when going forward and exhaling when going back. Trying to create big circles. We may feel some tension on the wrist at any point. Okay, if you feel too much tension somewhere, try not to go too deep and hold for a moment, breathing deeply and slowly, and then continue the circles when the tension goes away a little bit. Okay. Slowly coming back to the center, and now we're going to place the hands facing back. Basically the fingers are facing to the knees. We're extending the arms. Take a deep inhale here. On the exhale, if you can, bring your bum gently back to feel more tension. For 3, make sure the spine is not arching too much, so trying to flatten the spine as soon as you feel it's arching a little. Long and slow exhalations, trying to see if you can go a tiny bit deeper on the exhales. If this is already enough, it's too much tension, then we can stay. If you feel comfortable, then go a little deeper. Last 2. And slowly come back to the center. Now we're going to place the hands facing inwards and gently facing to the knees. We're going to take a deep inhale, extend the arms if they are not, pushing the floor away with the hands. This is just a counterbalance from the external rotation and the tension on the wrists. Okay, pushing strongly and slowly release. Okay, very good. Now we're going to place the hands with the palms facing upwards, just as before, fingertips facing to the knees. Extend the arms, take a deep inhale, and the exhale again, try to sit down. You don't have to actually sit, just try to shift the weight back. Inhale to lengthen the arms, on the exhale try to come back. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to come back. Good. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, come back. And last one, inhale to lengthen, exhale, come back, and slowly release. Okay, if you need to, we can interlock the fingers and move. This is very important to do. Actually, I would recommend to do it every day, because especially when we have a cast, we're walking with crutches. Okay, and I don't know about you, but my personal experience is after a few days of walking with them, I start to have some blisters in my hands, and I had to buy like a cushiony type of thing, because I don't like to be sitting all day, so I move around. And my arms start to get stiff, my hands start to get stiff, so doing some warm-up every day or some exercises every day, it's completely beneficial for the arms and the hands not to get too stiff and too tense. Okay? Now we're gonna start working a little bit on the shoulders. Okay? So we're gonna work with protraction and retraction. Protraction being when we push and we create that lifting of the scapulas, okay, and retraction is when we allow them to drop down. Okay, this is not cat and cow. Okay, the lower back is flat instead of rounding. Okay, and we just work with the actual scapula. The upper back is going up and down. Okay, so first of all, very simple, placing the hands in front of us. Take a deep inhale, lifting, holding for 3, you can breathe here, 2, 1. On the next exhalation, slowly release down, trying to kind of bring the shoulder blades to touch to each other, for 3. This may feel not super comfortable, 2, and 1. Slowly inhale to come back up, but it's quite necessary to feel the full range of motion and potentially increase the range of motion. 2, 1, slowly exhale, come down for 3, feeling how the shoulder blades are about to touch to each other. 2, 1, slowly inhale again, push up, exhale to come down, make sure the fingertips are pressing down, the knuckles are grounded. 2, 1, last 1, inhale, lift, holding for 3, 2, breathe, 1, exhale to come back down, for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly we can sit and release the hands. If we have any tension, we can again interlock the fingers and move, so we create some space on the wrists. Once we're ready, we're going to move into the second exercise. This time, just as before, the hands are going to go facing outwards, and they can go potentially a little bit away from the mat if you want to go a little bit deeper. You can also have them closer, depending how wide you want to work. And here we're going to still work with scapula protraction and retraction. So first of all, we're going to make sure we bring both up, and we're going to start going kind of like doing rounds. So we're going to start when we're up, exhale, going to the left, releasing the left, slowly moving to the right, lifting the right, lifting the leg, releasing the right, releasing the leg, and doing this sort of movement. Okay, so we're going to start coming up, slowly exhale, release the right, then the left, then move to the center, to the right, lift the right, lift the leg to the left to come back to the center, and repeating again. Okay, this may feel a little bit weird at the beginning, but this is very, very beneficial to increase not only the range of motion but the overall health of the scapulas, of the shoulders. Okay, try to create slow motion movements, wide as you comfortably can. And you will notice that after a little while it starts feeling quite warm, the area. This is where we want to. Okay, once you finish in one side, then repeating the same on the other side. I would recommend doing between 5 and 10 rounds on each side. So first starting going to the left and going to the right, or if you prefer doing the other way around, it's completely up to you. But make sure we warm up this area. especially when we are in crutches, we're gonna use our shoulders quite a lot, and they can get quite tight and quite tired very quickly. So warming them up is really, really good. Last two. Okay. And slowly coming back to the center, we're gonna release and relax for a moment in child's pose. Extending the arms, so this is an active child's pose. We're extending the arms, walking with the fingertips forward, trying to create that lengthening on the arms from the upper body. Inhaling deeper and exhaling slower, longer. And slowly we're gonna come back to all fours. We're gonna now work a little bit on strengthening those arms. So we're gonna start doing a sort of plank position, but the knees can be on the floor. Okay, if you feel strong, you can of course do a full plank by just extending the leg that is available and then making sure the one that's on the cast is up. Maybe you can place the foot on top of the other, or you can just holding a plank. Remember, protracting the shoulders, shifting the weight gently forward so the arms are feeling the tension mainly. But otherwise, if this is quite uncomfortable or hard for you at the moment, you can also come into a tabletop position and then shift the weight a little bit forward, engage the glutes and the core, protract the shoulders and hold here. If you want to go a little deeper, you may cross the ankles and leave the feet. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release and relax for a moment. Moving to the second round, okay? Wherever you are, any variation. For 5, 4, protracting the shoulders, remember, 3, strong hands pressing with the fingertips, knuckles grounded, 2, 1, slowly release. Good. And moving to the last round. If you want to increase the intensity for the last round, you can always come into a full plank with one foot on the floor. Not necessary, otherwise coming back into the previous variation for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly release and relax. Very good. Now we're gonna go a little bit deeper, okay? So we're gonna start working a little bit lower on the arms, coming into a Chaturanga shape, okay? Remember as well, again, we can have the knees on the floor. If you want to go full, we can use one leg and come into a one leg Chaturanga. So, same thing as before, we shift the weight forward, we make sure the core is engaged, the glutes are engaged. The knees can be on the floor. Inhale deep on the exhale. As we're leaning forward, slowly bending the elbows. You don't have to go all the way down. You can just stay here where your level allows you. Okay, if you want to go deeper, coming lower. For 3, make sure the upper body is parallel to the elbows. 2. Good. And 1, slowly release and relax. For 3, 2, and 1. Coming back, place yourself, shift the weight forward. If you can, bend the elbows as low as you can, trying to maintain a 90 degree on the arms. You can look forward or down. 45, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release and relax. Good. And coming for the last round. Remember, if you want to go a little deeper, you can come into a full Chaturanga with one leg. Inhale deep, on the exhale go down. Core glutes engage, strong arms, triceps pressing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. The arms at the moment should be quite warm. Okay, that's good. To release some tension and try to stretch the shoulders a little bit, being in this position of child pose, we can interlock the fingers and try to bring the arms back down. Okay. Try not to be too intense. If you feel any tension on the neck, you can round a little bit more and try to go a little deeper, but make sure you're not feeling too much tension on the neck. Good. Slowly release, place the hands on the mat, and then slowly we're gonna sit down. We just worked on the arms, okay, mainly upper body. Now we're gonna move into the abdomen area, okay, which is also quite important to use when we're using crutches. And also, in order to maintain this leg up, we're working on compression in between the leg and the core. So the core needs to be quite engaged most of the time when we're walking on crutches. So it's quite important to maintain that activation and work on it in order for us not to feel too much when we are walking on crutches. So for this, we're gonna start laying down on the mat, okay, and we're gonna first release for a moment on the floor, kind of in a Savasana position. Eyes closed, taking a few breaths before starting these exercises. Trying to feel aware of that area of the body, feeling the core, feeling how on every inhale the belly rises, and on the exhale the lower belly goes in. Good. We're gonna now start the exercises. So we're gonna bring the feet together. Okay. Remember, if you cannot place the cast on the floor, you can always place it on top of the other foot, of the other leg, or you can place a pillow. So when you're touching the floor, you have something more cushiony to place to land on. So we're gonna start looking to the toes, extending the arms, and we're gonna try to come into a hollow body position, lifting the feet, lifting the upper body, extending the arms, feeling how the core engages for 5, 4 deep and long breaths, 3, 2, 1, slowly release. Maintaining natural and automatic breaths when we're releasing. Coming for the second round. Lifting. If we can start moving side to side to work on the side of the abdomen for 5. Otherwise we can hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. and coming back for the last round. Coming back up. We can hold or move if we prefer for the last 5, 4, 3. Glutes are engaged, legs are strong, core is strong. 2, 1, and slowly release. All these strengthening exercises, the planks, the Chaturanga, and all the core exercises that we're doing, I would recommend it to do twice, okay? I'm explaining it for one round of 3. But if you have the time, if you can repeat it again after resting for a moment, then you can do 2 sets of 3 instead. And of course will be more beneficial when we are doing a little bit more. Then of course that area is working a little more, and it's of course a little better. Okay, now from here we're gonna move into some Navasana boat pose variations. Remember, we're gonna bend the knees, and as close we have the knees to the chest, as easier it will be for the core and for the leg muscles. So first option, we can hug ourselves and hold here, okay, for the rounds. Second option, we can extend the arms, looking forward, lifting. The spine lengthens, we open the chest. If you feel comfortable, you can lift the feet a little more, and if you feel super comfortable, you can extend the legs. Okay, we're gonna stay here for 5. Make sure the legs are strong, the core is engaged, we're lifting, we're bringing the shoulders back. 3, 2, 1, slowly release. You can hug yourself, or you can relax. Here, if you prefer, do a gentle forward fold to release tension on the core. Coming back for the second round, okay? Placing yourself however it feels best for you. If you want to go a little challenging, okay, what you can do is try to come a little higher or work on extending the legs a little bit more. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly release. Relax for a moment. Good. And now for the last round. Remember, we can also stay here. We don't need to go farther, just if we feel comfortable. Okay? Holding for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release and relax a little bit. Okay, doing a gentle forward fold. Slowly from here, we're going to lay down. Coming into the final positions before coming to the Savasana. Okay? And we are going to do a little bit of stretching first. We can extend the arms, try to extend the legs, try to create some space in between the vertebrae, creating space in the lateral side of the body. Taking a deep inhale. On the exhalation, we're gonna bring both feet. Okay, you can place, remember, the cast on top of the opposite foot. Both feet and hands to one direction, making sure only the hips are going to the opposite direction. In my case, I bring the feet and the hands to the right, hips to the left, feeling a deep stretch on the side body. On every inhale, try to lengthen a little bit more. Deep inhalations, long and slow exhalations. Releasing tension on the exhale, lengthening on the inhale. Good. Slowly coming back to the center. Take a deep inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, lengthen a little more and exhale, move to the other side. In my case, I'm moving to the left with the hands and feet, right with the hips. For 3 more breaths. Deep inhalations, remember long and slow exhalations. Try to lengthen on the inhale, release the tension on the exhales. 2. And slowly coming back to the center. Okay, good. And finally, before getting into the Savasana, we're going to come into a happy baby pose. Okay, if it's not possible for you to grab your feet, or especially on the leg that you have the cast, you cannot put pressure on it. Another option is to try to bring the hands to touch either the heels or the outer part of the feet. Basically, you're touching the leg or like the ankle area, or you can go lower to touch your tibia area, your lower leg, and slowly we're gonna press down with the elbows. Okay, the elbows are touching my hamstrings, my legs, and we're using my elbows to press down. The goal here is basically to feel some opening on the hips, at the same time bring the knees down, okay? And we want to ground our lower back and our sacrum down to the floor. It's a grounding pose and a hip opening pose. Inhaling and exhaling here. Deeply and slowly. On the exhales, trying to bring the lower back towards the floor a little deeper. Trying to release tension on the exhales. Last few breaths. And slowly we're gonna release, and we're gonna extend the legs more or less the width of the mat. Remember, you can place a pillow below your cast if you feel some tension there. We're gonna create some space in between the shoulder blades, and then slowly allow the hands to drop down. Getting into Savasana, or relaxation. Feeling how on every exhale, every single part within the body is relaxing a little bit more. As if we are melting down to the mat, to the floor. Releasing tension as the exhales are happening. Especially releasing tension in our neck, in our shoulders, and our facial muscles. And trying to allow our breath to happen completely effortlessly. We're going to stay here in Savasana for a few minutes, allowing the body and the mind to relax completely. And if we have thoughts coming in on the exhale, we're going to try to let them go and just observe our natural breath and our body relaxed, still. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit on that like button below and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have any related questions, feel free to write a comment and I'll be happy to answer you as soon as possible. Again, thank you so much for watching. Namaste.